Welcome back to my channel. My name is Deji and I am a property investor. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about profiting from short lease flats by explaining one of the properties that I've just had an offer accepted on. So if you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to see my upcoming videos, hit the notification button to receive an alert. Now, I had an offer accepted on a 2-bedroom ground floor flat. Personally, I'm not a big fan of buying flats, but if the numbers work, then it's good. Now, the market value of this property is about 185 to 190,000 pounds, as it is. But the reason that it was on the market for about 130,000 pounds was because it had a lease remaining on the flat for about 57 years. Now, when a lease reduces to a certain amount, it's going to be very difficult or impossible to obtain a mortgage on that flat. So what that means is the flat will now have to be purchased with cash or cash and part bridging finance. So this is an advantage to an investor because it rules out all the people trying to purchase the property with a mortgage. So what I did was contact the estate agent that was marketing the property and of course booked in a viewing. And I looked at the property, it needed minimal work, and I did my due diligence and I saw if this property had a long lease, it would be worth 190,000 pounds. But of course it's on the market at 130 because of the short lease. So I told the estate agent I'm interested in purchasing this property subject to the vendor serving a section 42 notice on the freeholder before completion. And I put in an offer for 100,000 pounds. Now, the vendor accepted my offer of 100,000 pounds, but they were not willing to serve a section 42 notice. Now, a section 42 notice is where the current owner, the leaseholder, serves notice on the freeholder for the extension of the lease. Now, currently, this is a minimum of 90 years. So a minimum of 90 years will be added onto the lease, ultimately increasing the value of the flat to its true value of 190,000 pounds. Now, what you must do is get the vendor to serve this notice before you exchange contracts. Now, on some occasions, you're going to get vendors who are not willing to do this because they've either had a bad experience or once they serve the notice and the potential buyer pulls out of the deal, they are trapped in extending the lease and paying the cost to do so. So what you're going to negotiate with the seller rather is to get to serve the section 42 upon exchange of contract. So it's simultaneous. So as you exchange a contract, the section 42 is also being served. So you're locked into the deal and they're also secure that you're not just gonna pull out at any time. On some occasions, some vendors will ask, what about all the fees that they incur to extend the lease? So there's a survey fee and there's several legal fees that has to be paid. Again, if this is going to be a problem with you getting the deal through the line, what you can offer the vendor is when they serve the section 42, you will cover the survey and legal costs just to ease them into securing the deal. So I've now secured a flat that's got an end value of 190,000 pounds that I've purchased at 100,000 pounds. Now, of course, I'm going to need to pay for the lease extension, which on this particular flat costs about 25,000 pounds. And of course, there's going to be legal costs, survey costs, and other fees. So after all of that, I'm going to pay another 8,000 to 9,000 pounds doing up the flat. It doesn't need much work, maybe a new bathroom, new kitchen, and some painting and decorating. But I've created equity of over 50,000 pounds using this strategy. Now, if you buy a flat with a short lease and the section 42 is not served before completion, you may have to wait up to 2 years or more before you can get the lease extended. So what that means is that your initial investment into the property will be stuck in the property for however long it takes for you to get the lease extension. But if the current owner does it before you complete, it could take just a few months before the lease is extended, so you can pull out all your initial investment. Now, of course, before you make an offer on the flat, you need to know how much the lease extension will cost. Before you get through to the vendor and they get through to the freeholder, it takes time. So what you can do is go on a website called myleaseholder.co.uk and get the lease extension calculator. In order to figure a guess of how much this will be, you need to know what the ground rent is, the service charges, and how much it is that you're going to purchase the property for. Then the leasehold calculator will give you an idea of roughly what the lease extension is going to cost you for you to run your numbers in order for you to make an offer to purchase this flat. Now, this is what you call BRRR, buy, refurb, refinance, rent. So I'm buying a property for £100,000 with an end value of £190,000. I'm spending £25,000 for the lease extension, and I'm spending £8,000 on a light refurb on the property. And I'm going to spend another £4,000 to £5,000 on legal fees and other fees. And in total, I've created an equity of over £50,000. So once everything is done and the lease is extended on the property, I'm going to refinance the property in the hope to get a new valuation of £190,000. And I'm going to be able to pull out all of my initial investment, which I put into the purchase of this property, and move on to the next deal to purchase. Now, I tend to come across a lot of short lease flats and as well as other freehold properties. So what I do is package these deals and sell them onto other investors who don't have the time to find these sorts of deals or don't know how to negotiate with short lease flats. So if you're watching this video and you're looking for somebody to source good property deals like I've just mentioned, drop me a message and let's talk business. And if you found this video useful, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also hit the notification button.